What is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here today. I am on my way home from work to start my weekend. It's going to be one hell of a time. WWE is counting down, I believe, their top 20 matches of SummerSlam history. They're releasing one each and every day and putting it up on their YouTube channel. Today's number 14 was The Rock versus Triple H in a ladder match at SummerSlam 1998, also known as the Highway to Hell. Madison Square Garden. It was an awesome show. It was headlined by The Undertaker and Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Undertaker looked like the Lord of Ministry sort of guy. He kind of looked heel, but at the time he was portraying sort of a baby face. Him and Stone Cold Steve Austin, they go out, they have a really weird match where it's almost like a respect match, where the guys are trying to go out there and actually out wrestle each other instead of like beat each other up. It was almost like they were gonna like toast a beer once the match was all said and done. But in the middle of that show, we had the Intercontinental Championship held up in a ladder match. The Rock, who was a member of the Nation of Domination, went up against Triple H, the leader of Generation X. We all know the build up to the match. It was very livid. I mean, you could cut the tension with a knife. Between these two guys, they both were really hungry inside of their career. They had been stuck like in the mid card, trading the Intercontinental Championship for a couple of years, and both of them were really pushing the envelope to see if they could get higher. At that time, the way that WWF booked everybody on the card is that like almost at any time anybody could be a main eventer, but I think both of these guys knew the potential of what was to come. I think that it's awesome that like almost instantaneously, The Rock, he gets pushed up into the main event kind of scene by Survivor Series. The Rock wins his first WWE Championship at Deadly Games by doing the big heel turn, joining the corporation when it looked like they were trying to hand Mick Foley / Mankind the championship. But once you like slow down and actually look at what The Rock does, you can see the like clear cut plan by Vince McMahon, who just makes it so easy for The Rock. When you think that all the deck is stacked against him, when they screw Mankind, you honestly really feel bad for the dude. We would have to wait a year later at SummerSlam 1999. Triple H, I don't think it was his first main event on a pay-per-view, because I think they ended up doing a three-way with Triple H, The Undertaker, and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Maybe that was like a fully loaded. I don't have the best memory of that time. There was just so much stuff going on, and not only were you paying attention to WWF at the time, you were watching WCW, so it's just like double the stuff to try to remember. But Triple H, we have Jesse Ventura there. For some reason, the story is that Jesse Ventura didn't want to be the babyface referee handing a heel champion a belt. He wanted something that would look good in the morning paper. So for some reason, Jesse wants Mankind to win the championship. So your front page of every paper across the country has Jesse Ventura handing the masked Mick Foley the championship belt of "This is pro wrestling, everybody come and get it." And then next night on Raw, when Jesse Ventura was there, Triple H wins his first WWF title. So a year later and a day, I guess, he climbs the mountaintop and he gets to the main event. And both of those guys never let it go. They make the best of their opportunity. From watching Young Rock on NBC, that when it ran for 3 years, the last season was really wrestling heavy. And I remember an episode where they kind of like showed what it was like at that time period. The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock and Triple H. And then for some reason they showed this dude named Chad Frost, who The Rock just did not like because he rubbed him the wrong way. We don't know, but we know. Chad Frost is Shawn Michaels. And he thought he was a dick. And he didn't like him at all. But number 14 is a good, honest spot. I mean, they've been running SummerSlam since 1988. I'm not the best at math, so I think they've done like almost like 40 of these, if they haven't done that many already. But it's been going strong. And I want to pay attention to the list because I think this is one of the best matches that there is. It's also very important. I think one of the reasons why a lot of people don't really remember this match is it didn't have a lot of replay because of the fact that in the match, Triple H, who is portraying having a knee injury, really injures his knee. And I don't think he ever defends this Intercontinental Championship. I think that Triple H has a knee injury that would last. He was supposed to come back at Survivor Series, and he was supposed to wrestle at Deadly Games, but I guess it was just too soon and he wasn't able to actually come back. So it sort of shows you how long that he would be out on the mend. And then The Rock, they don't really want to mention the fact that he loses this match because of the fact he's going up to the main event. So it was kind of like if you saw it, you saw it. You didn't. But it's a really, really good ladder match. I don't want to say that it's one of the best ladder matches of all time. There's not a lot of like high spots off of the ladder. They kind of beat the hell out of each other outside of the ring. More than anything else, they fight, up the aisle, all the way up to the set where they're banging the heads off the guardrails and such. Today it seems like, with the ladder match, the psychology is like you beat your guy up and then you climb the ladder, but you didn't beat him up enough. So that guy gets up and like pushes you off of the ladder, and there's like a big spot that comes out of it. This time, like, they climb up the ladder and the guy just kind of like hits him in the back and they just like fall down the ladder. There's no like big ultimate spot with these guys like going through a table or anything like that. I don't know. It's just, I love the ladder matches. I love the Money in the Banks that we have today with the big spots that go through the tables, but it kind of shows you that you don't really ultimately need all of that. And the Bret vs. Shawn ladder match is really good. The Shawn Michaels versus Razor Ramon ladder match is exceptionally good. This one's great, but this match here, I mean, we all know like the DX came out and they did a parody of the Nation of Domination. They still show it on a lot of clips. It's on some DVDs. I don't really honestly know if they should because like they're portraying blackface, and it seems like that gets you canceled in this day and age. But I think they're kind of like Saturday Night Live. If they put it up there and kind of like show it as like, hey, we made a mistake, they're admitting to it and they're not trying to hide it, I guess. But then, of course, to get revenge and maybe to say that, like, that's why it's not bad. It's like the Nation of Domination comes back and they parody DX, and they have like Jason Sensation. I think that's it. He was like a radio guy that WWE liked because he was able to do a lot of impersonations and things like that. He does Owen Hart. I don't really even know where I'm going with that. But they loved him. It seemed like they brought him out a lot, and then just one day they just cut him off, and they said that's it. I would ultimately say that, I talked about the fact that both of these guys get rocketed up the card into the main event after this match. I don't want to say it's because it's so good. I think they knew that's the plan where both of these guys were going. Ultimately, with Triple H, as soon as Shawn left, I think the plan was we got about a year to get this guy ready because we need somebody to take Shawn Michaels' spot. But I think it really made China in the long run. I mean, in the early days of DX, China was like the background. She was like the muscles. She was the enforcer. She was like Diesel. But, Diesel was being Kevin Nash now, so they couldn't really have him, behind Shawn, and they couldn't have, somebody with Triple H. So they brought her in. And, one of the big lead-ups to SummerSlam was that DX was held captive backstage. I think they put like a forklift or something like that in front of their locker room door, locking them in. And then the nation surrounded the ring when China was in it. And then they forced Mark Henry upon China, where Mark Henry was going to kiss her. But then at the last minute, Shawn Michaels, who was ringside, I think he was doing commentary, he made the save, and that's where we got from there. So during the match, there was no Nation, there was no DX. I can't remember if they were barred from ringside or something like that as some sort of a stipulation. Because a ladder match would be no DQ. Those guys could pop in anytime they wanted to. China comes running down, and she hits The Rock in the balls, making him fall off. And then Triple H climbs the ladder and grabs the championship belt. Later on, in the match, you can honestly see that Triple H is selling his knee. He had been selling his match the whole time. But you can see the point when he's not selling anymore, and that dude is really hurt. But he knew that he needed to get that spot in where he wins the belt because he didn't know how bad it was. But I think as a viewer, you can really see that it's bad. It's not good at all. So, like I said, I'll be paying attention to the rest of the list. Number 14 is a great spot. Honestly, I think I would have put it higher. I really can't think of any matches off the top of my head that I think that are better. I'm not going to come out and say that it's the best, but I'm just saying that, it's a damn good match, man. Damn good.